Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to the channel of upright men and women. Guys, the forces of evil against this country is extremely strong. Well, I knew it existed, but it was not until I did that interview with Wilfred Rattigan on Monday that I realized just how that's when I realized just how evil, how vile, how malignantly depraved are these forces which are stacked up and are fighting against Jamaica. Guys, this is one of the most heartfelt videos I'm ever going to put out, ever. And it was not until I had completed that interview with Mr. Rattigan and had gone back through it and listened carefully that I realized the fight that we are really up against as a nation. The main reason why I wanted to speak to Mr. Rattigan is that I wanted some reassurance from him that the bad comments I was hearing about him were not true. The main reason why I heard these comments is because I was one of those individuals in Jamaica who was trying to sell him to the world because I really believed in him. So when people were hearing that he was anti-Jamaican, he was trying to show Jamaica up to the entire world as being corrupt, inept, inefficient. The people are starving. In other words, I heard that he was slinging a lot of mud and he was going about it with all alacrity. But at the time, I still believed in this man to the extent where I said to myself, boy, I think this man must have a good excuse because one of those men that I idolize couldn't really hate Jamaica to that extent. Something must have gone wrong either in his misunderstanding of or misinterpretation of the facts. So I called on him because I wanted him to just come and clear it up because I felt that it must have a proper explanation. Well, I was in for a very rude awakening. And let me give you an analogy to express the way I felt or how it affected me. Imagine you have your best friend and you suspect that your wife is having an affair. And you want to share with him and offload on him because he's your best friend. When you go to your best friend's house, because you have a key for him house, when you go in, you find your wife naked in him house. That is like the ultimate betrayal. But back to the real situation. For those of you who have been on my channel for over the past 3 years, you will have known that Wilfred Rattigan was one of my heroes. I've never met the man, but I refer to him as my brother, and he referred to me the same way, my brother. I thought he was different, Labourites thought he was different, and comrades thought he was different, and everybody fell for this man. But that interview that I had with him on Monday evening has totally shattered everything I thought I knew about this man, about his motives, his intentions, and his plans. I think I can safely say that Wilfred Rattigan is one of the most deadly adversary against this nation, Jamaica. He is the type of person who would grind Jamaica into the dust for his own personal aggrandizement. Now, stay with me because I'm going to work it out rationally for you people to understand why I have arrived at this conclusion. And it has nothing to do with personal feelings. It's about critical thinking and drawing conclusions based on objective realities. Now, for you to understand what this man is up to, the first thing we have got to do is to look at his intellectual background. First of all, for one to become an FBI agent, which he was, one has to have a university degree, which he does have. But merely having a university degree on its own cannot get one into the FBI. To join the FBI, there are to be accepted as an FBI agent, one has to have the ability to think critically. You have to pass several other kind of tests to test your ability to think critically. There are psychometric tests and intelligence quotient tests. And the reason for this is because as an agent, if you are going to investigate a case, you remember, that as an agent, you have to draw all kind of information from many different sources in order to put a case together. Some of these agents, when they apply for the job, hundreds and hundreds of different psychometrics test questions that they have to answer. It checks for personality, it checks for abilities, it checks for intelligence, and it checks for your general potential for the job. No matter how much degree you have, if you cannot think critically enough and put A to B to C in a straight line so that they can see where you have the ability to investigate things, you still can't get the work. So obviously, Mr. Rattigan has passed all of these tests. In other words, he is a seasoned investigator. But now, listen to the hypocrisy of this gentleman. I asked the man plain, are there anything good that this government has done? And can you give me a list? The man make me know plain say, him don't care about what good the government has done. He is only looking at the things that they did not do and the things that were in their manifesto. That is it. So if you deliberately hide one set of information that would be critical to the decision making of who to vote for, you are telling me that you don't have a bias? Listen to this hypocrisy. Listen to it.
And that's why I said to my people, said to the folks who watch my program, I said, listen, I want you to look at this like this. I want you to become a critical thinker. I want you to become an informed voter. And I say it constantly, I am not telling you who to vote for. I am not telling you to vote for. What I'm going to tell you is, I'm going to present the facts to you about the way the country is running, about the promises that have been made, about the promises that have been unfulfilled. And then once you're armed with those facts, and not innuendos, not guesswork, facts, then when I inform you about them, then it's up to you to go and make a decision.
So you are not telling people who to vote for. You suppress one set of information, totally suppress one set of information, and choose to put through another set of information. But you say you're not telling people how to vote? At all you do, everything you have said, you say is facts, and you mud up the situation. And I tell people that I'm not telling people who to vote for. With everything that you have said, what did you expect people to do? I mean, what was your intention that people should do? Within that is the sublime message that this is the direction I want you to go. Come on, don't make people look stupid. And that is an extreme form of blatant hypocrisy. You're a hypocrite, brother. You're a hypocrite. I went on to ask him, give me a list of all the bad things, all the corrupt activities that this government has done. And I told him that I would put it out on my channel. And this was all he could come up with.
Here's the thing. These things, we're all witnesses to going on, It's not like, for the most part, it's not like I am revealing secrets, For the most part, we have witnessed it. For example, who doesn't know about the Prime Minister and the 28 bank accounts and the investigation conducted by the Integrity Commission? Who doesn't know about Dennis Chung and his ascendancy to become Chief Technical Director over at FID?
I then went on to ask him plain, do you know of any corrupt act that was carried out by the PNP during their time in office? Him brushed that under the carpet. Him said, no, I'm not into that. They are not in government, and I will not discuss anything to do with Them and what they had done, I'm dealing with them now. And now may I deal with. Oh, this investigator, I'm investigator, is delving into politics, hiding, suppressing every evil that the previous administration has done, suppressing every good that the current administration is doing, and have the gall to tell us that he's not telling anybody who to vote for. So now you have so much corruption against this government, allegations of corruption against this government, and it's only the two talk of the week you can come and put to me, nothing else. When you deliberately don't want nothing bad, you don't want no nothing bad where one side do, and you don't want no nothing good where the next side do, what are we supposed to think about you and giving people information, facts as you call it, to make informed decisions? And this is supposed to be an investigator, a trained investigator. Not only that, look at it behind this background. At any one time, this man have maybe up to a dozen or more applications to the government under the Access to Information Act. I think them have to employ special staff just to look up the things where he want, because he's always trying to find information. And the information that he wants to find is always to find something to throw mud, as much mud as possible, on the current administration. And so him go and him don't find nothing, him put in another one. But has he ever used the same Access to Information Act to find out anything that had happened under the previous regime? I don't know if he has, but the point is he has never raised such things and come out and say it. So it is absolutely clear what this man's intentions are. He is an enemy of the country. He will do anything to grind this country into the dust. There is absolutely no length or breadth to which he will go to suppress and or dismantle the massive strides we have made in the past few years. People like him, they would rather see a nuclear bomb drop on this entire country, turn it into a nuclear wasteland. He would be prepared to live here in a desolate, cold, desolate wasteland, and he would be very happy. The only one thing that he doesn't want to live under or see in this country is a JLP administration. And there are many like him. People who hate their country because of politics. When we have so many good things happening in this country, and we have somebody who takes to the world stage to embarrass, denounce, renounce, and condemn the entire country because of their own personal political ambitions. How can you love your country and you never ever strike a balance between the good and the bad? And remember, he made this excuse. Brethren, that is the most blatant form of hypocrisy that anybody can come up with. Lame excuse. You use the Access to Information Act to dig up and find out about corruption against this current regime. And you did not appraise yourself of any of the corruption under the previous regime? And you think it did not matter? So you can compare both administrations to see which one had fallen short or which one had at some point delivered, or who delivered most. You as an investigator decide not to investigate. One party deliberately fashioned your investigation with a certain slant, and then you come to tell us that you are impartial. Honestly, the only thing that I could lighten people like you, people like Wayne Lonesome, who you are in bed with, and Oral Tracy, of course, people like you lot, I liken you to screwworm maggots. Screwworm maggots who are eating out the belly of this nation. Eat us while we are alive. Sucking our blood, eating our live flesh. And I just want people to understand who you are. Uno no fear, uno no balanced, uno working from a specific agenda, and uno work from that agenda by just getting the information that can push forward that agenda at all costs, with no consideration for the number of Jamaicans you will hurt. I just want this nation to wake up to your evil. You are the enemies of this country, and I hope you never succeed. Long live Jamaica. Long live the patriots of this country. Thanks for watching. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.